$8 billion skyscraper that's worth absolutely nothing today. Not a single person has ever worked there, slept there, or even ridden its elevators. And it's not alone. But how did billions of dollars and decades of work result in nothing but empty shells? From North Korea's tallest building with no elevators to a Chinese tower that's been empty for over a decade, these aren't just construction failures. They're crime scenes where the victims are taxpayer money, workers' lives, and the futures of entire cities. Today, we're diving into the dark world of ghost scrapers to uncover exactly how greed, politics, and catastrophic miscalculations turn dreams into nightmares. Here's the staggering reality. Globally, abandoned skyscrapers represent over $200 billion in wasted investment. That's more than the GDP of entire countries. And it's not just about money. On average, it takes 14 years for a ghost scraper to fail completely. 14 years of planning, building, and hoping, only for it all to collapse. Skyscrapers are born from three ingredients: money, ego, and optimism. But when one ingredient fails, the whole structure crumbles. In the 21st century alone, over 200 skyscrapers taller than 15 stories have been abandoned mid-construction. Each one tells a unique story of overconfidence, mismanagement, and sometimes pure bad luck. Let's start our journey in Rio de Janeiro, a city of breathtaking beauty and stark contrasts. Torre Abraham Lincoln stands as a haunting reminder of Brazil's turbulent economic history. At 122 meters tall, this skyscraper was once envisioned as a beacon of modern urban living. Today, it's an abandoned shell where nature has literally taken over. Construction began in the late 1960s during Brazil's military dictatorship, a time of rapid urbanization. Developers raced to build high-rise residential buildings for Rio's growing middle class. The tower was designed to house hundreds of families in spacious apartments with panoramic city views. But as construction neared completion in 1974, everything fell apart. Engineers discovered serious structural flaws in the building's foundation. These issues raised concerns about stability, especially dangerous in a city prone to heavy rains and landslides. With Brazil's economy already struggling under inflation and political instability, there was no funding left to fix the problems. Construction was abandoned entirely. Over time, nature began reclaiming the structure. Trees and vines now grow through its cracks while birds nest in empty hallways. The building has become a hotspot for squatters and illegal activity, raising serious concerns among local residents and authorities. Our next stop takes us to Mexico City, home to the distinctive Insignia Tower. Completed in 1962, this 127-meter-tall structure was designed by renowned architect Mario Pani. Originally intended to house the headquarters of Banobras, the National Bank of Public Works, its unique triangular design made it an architectural landmark. But its story became one of decline, abandonment, and eventually redemption. When built, the Insignia Tower symbolized progress. Mexico City was rapidly expanding, and vertical construction seemed like the answer to rising land costs and population growth. The tower became the centerpiece of the Tlatelolco housing complex, a bold urban development aimed at modernizing the city. But this optimism didn't last. In 1985, a devastating earthquake struck Mexico City, causing widespread destruction. Many of Mario Pani's residential buildings in Tlatelolco were severely damaged or collapsed entirely, leading to significant loss of life. Although the Insignia Tower itself survived without structural damage and was declared safe multiple times, the disaster shattered public confidence in the entire area. The earthquake wasn't just a physical disaster. It destroyed the public's trust. Over time, businesses moved out, residents left, and Tlatelolco became synonymous with failure. By 1985, Banobras vacated the Insignia Tower entirely, leaving it abandoned for decades. For years, this once proud skyscraper stood as a ghostly reminder of Mexico City's turbulent history. Despite being one of the safest buildings in the city, engineered to withstand earthquakes up to 8.5 on the Richter scale, it remained empty. Then came hope. In 2008, American real estate company Cushman & Wakefield purchased the building and began extensive renovations. They rebranded it as Corporativo Tlatelolco and started leasing office spaces. By 2011, the Insignia Tower housed government offices like Mexico's Ministry of Public Education. It even features a carillon, a massive set of 47 bronze bells gifted by Belgium that occasionally chimes through Mexico City's evening air. While this building found new life after decades of neglect, not every skyscraper is so lucky. Let's move to New Orleans, where the Plaza Tower tells a different story entirely. New Orleans is known for vibrant culture, historic architecture, and resilience. But standing at 162 meters tall, the Plaza Tower represents ambition overshadowed by poor planning and environmental challenges. When completed in 1969, it was Louisiana's tallest building and the third tallest in the southeastern United States. Designed by Leonard Spangenberg Jr., it symbolized New Orleans' economic growth during the post-World War II boom. The tower housed oil companies, law firms, and major businesses that were thriving. For decades, Plaza Tower stood as a beacon of progress. But by the late 1980s, problems emerged. Asbestos was discovered throughout the building in the early 1990s, creating serious health concerns. Combined with mold issues from poor ventilation systems, Plaza Tower quickly became uninhabitable. By 2002, all tenants had moved out. Then Hurricane Katrina struck in 2005 with devastating force. While Plaza Tower survived structurally, it suffered significant water damage from flooding and leaks. Any hopes of revival were dashed as New Orleans focused on rebuilding homes and infrastructure for residents. Why hasn't it been demolished? The answer is money. Estimates suggest tearing down Plaza Tower would cost at least $25 million, a price no private developer or government agency has been willing to pay. Even if someone wanted to redevelop the site, they'd have to deal with extensive environmental remediation first. Today, Plaza Tower is an eyesore, a decaying monument to an era when bigger was always considered better. It's been called everything from the Mold Tower to New Orleans' biggest mistake. This raises an important question. Should cities invest millions to demolish their own mistakes, or find ways to repurpose these aging giants? Our journey now takes us halfway around the world to Bangkok, where financial collapse left behind one of Asia's most infamous abandoned towers. Nicknamed the Ghost Tower, Sathorn Unique was meant to be one of the city's most luxurious residential and commercial skyscrapers. Instead, it became a symbol of unrealized ambition. Construction began in 1990 during Thailand's rapid economic growth. The vision was ambitious, a 49-story skyscraper featuring luxury apartments, high-end retail spaces, and panoramic views of Bangkok's Chao Phraya River. It was designed to symbolize Bangkok's emergence as a global metropolis. But then came the Asian financial crisis of 1997. Thailand's economy collapsed almost overnight. The baht lost over half its value, and countless businesses went bankrupt, including the development company. With no funding to continue, construction on Sathorn Unique came to an abrupt halt. By that point, the building was already 97% complete. Its concrete frame was finished, balconies installed, but elevators, plumbing, and electrical systems were never realized. For decades, Sathorn Unique has stood as a ghostly monument to unrealized ambition. Urban explorers and thrill seekers have turned it into a popular destination despite warnings about safety risks. Since 2010, over 200 people have been arrested for trespassing. Some climbers have even scaled its rooftop to capture breathtaking but dangerous views of Bangkok. Local legends claim Sathorn Unique is cursed, pointing to its proximity to a nearby temple and cemetery. But there are practical reasons why this tower remains abandoned. Developers still owe creditors over $140 million in unpaid debts. Legal disputes over ownership have dragged on for decades, making it nearly impossible for anyone to revive or repurpose the building. From Bangkok's Ghost Tower, we move to Caracas, Venezuela, where an unfinished skyscraper became an unlikely home for thousands during one of history's worst economic collapses. In the heart of Caracas stands the Centro Financiero Confinanzas, a 190-meter skyscraper that was supposed to symbolize Venezuela's financial prosperity. Today, it's better known as the Tower of David. Construction began in 1990, spearheaded by David Brillembourg, a prominent Venezuelan banker who envisioned the tower as a hub for banking and commerce. It was designed to include office spaces, luxury apartments, a helipad, and even a five-star hotel.